Are you looking to fill your home space with some wonderful essentials, or are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Well, go to DrT23.site. That is DRT23.site. Navigate down to Nesting Co. and look at all the wonderful products that are there available to you, and you get free shipping worldwide. That is DRT23.site. Go to Nesting Co. for your home essential needs. Somebody got choked out. It's not my brother's fault. 29 years in the NFL and I'm just being let go. And you're lying on the sideline. All of that and more on this week's episode of A Win is a Win. Let's go, y'all.
It's time for the Rookie Rundown.
This week, we will run down top 5 midpoint rookies. Number 5, we have Jordan Addison. Now, he has hauled in 4 touchdowns, a game-altering 60-yard score in his debut. He convincingly, through the Vikings' 4-game win streak, shown he can be a complete number 1 wide receiver. Number 4, we have Puka Nacua. I've talked about him plenty of times. The rookie has had 25 receptions and 326 receiving yards since Cooper's return. Still breaking records. Nacua has the most receptions at 64 total in his first 9 career games. In at number 3, we have Devon Witherspoon, being used in a multitude of ways, taking the majority of his snaps out wide, lining up in the slot at free safety in the box. Devon is one of 16 players targeted at least 50 times in defender coverage showing up. Now showing up at number 2, we have Jalen Carter, who I've also mentioned quite a few times in our rookie rundown. Now, even though he still sits at 48% of Eagle defensive snaps, his impact has him at the highest graded rookie interior defender at 90.6 in Pro Football Focus in his first 8 games. And sitting at number 1 is none other than C.J. Stroud. Yes, the former Buckeye has put on a masterclass of QB play in his first half of his rookie season, orchestrating in week 9 a 8-play, 75-yard game-winning drive. He definitely is exceeding expectations far more than most assume. And as I always say, these rookies, and yes, others, are understanding their assignment. Campus Gridiron up next.
Let's see what's up with our Campus Gridiron.
Only 2 full weekends left. Then we hit the conference title games. Yes, Big Noon Kickoff will debut the controversial right now Wolverines, who are currently undefeated, against the Maryland Terrapins. Now, this should be another W for Michigan as they get ready to face my Ohio State Buckeyes. It is crowded for college football playoffs. Let's take a look at all of the teams that are still undefeated. At number 1, Georgia, who's 10-0. Now, can the Bulldogs do it again? They hold 2 back-to-back titles and went 15-0 last year. At number 2, the Ohio State Buckeyes, sitting also at 10-0. Can their Heisman hopeful and team jump them into the playoffs? Well, coming in at number 3, those Michigan Wolverines are still 10-0 and are steamrolling their way into a hopeful playoff spot as well. Can they get past the Ohio State Buckeyes without Harbaugh? We'll see. That will be the game, as always, of the year on Thanksgiving. At number 4, those Seminoles of Florida State are 10-0. Do they have what it takes to advance? They haven't been undefeated since 2013 and went 14-0 then. Do they have it? We will see. Lastly, but not least, in at number 5, Washington, 10-0, picking up another ranked win over Utah. Can their Heisman QB hopeful throw them into a playoff spot? It is very crowded and it is becoming very interesting to see who has the juice. An undefeated season is a college football team's dream. We will see who sits atop of the 133 and picks up the chip. Sports news up next.
Let's get into the sports news.
After 29 years, Eagles release Bernard Williams. After 3 decades on the NFL's suspended list, the offensive tackle was let go. Selected number 14 in the 94 draft, playing no snaps since Christmas Eve after losing 33-30 to the Bengals, the offensive tackle was suspended for a positive marijuana test. He never played another game. 51-year-old Williams also has never applied for reinstatement. NFL spokesperson said the move came after the league made a sweep to clear old players from the reserve list. So looks like the NFL is going through with the broom and saying, hey, listen, we understand, but we need to make some space. So interesting to see what 51-year-old Williams will get himself into. He has played in some alternative leagues for a few years. I haven't heard much from him since then. Shame on you, girl. Shame on you. Carissa Thompson, NFL broadcaster, admitted making up reports while working the sidelines. Quoted saying, I haven't been fired for saying it yet. She then later went back and said she chose the wrong words or was unethical. Well, if you didn't think that your words were correct or you didn't act in an unethical way, then why put the statement out to begin with? Well, Carissa, to be on the sidelines is a privilege. Coaches don't trust just anyone with their words. The entire sports world is watching, and I will say, women have fought not only to be respected in the sports world as athletes, but as analysts and reporters. We have fought to be seen more than eye candy. Therefore, to act irresponsibly in the fashion that you did undermines other women on the field or reporters who do act in an ethical fashion. Bottom line, tell the truth, do your research, or simply put your mic down and step aside. Man, my goodness, we got to get 14 up out of there. Was the tweet of the week or the X of the week based on Twitter? I mean, X's new home or whatever you call it. Nonetheless, yep, Trevon Diggs' statement sent social media in a firestorm frenzy after the Bills took the loss on Monday Night Football 24-22 to the Broncos. But he didn't stop there. After his initial statement, Trevon doubled down, tweeting, let's not forget, he didn't start going off until Bro got there, assuming the he was referencing Josh Allen. Stefan has since responded by tweeting, "I'm not responsible for how other people feel," stating to those who had lots to assume to take it up with him, meaning go see my brother and don't ask me. One day after all of that, the Bills' offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, was fired. So, a win is a win, family. Was Trayvon standing on business about his brother and was right in tweeting his thoughts? Or should he have kept his tweets, not his feelings, to himself? Sound off in the comments. Injury report up next.
Who's hurt? Who's ready to go? Time for the injury report.
Down goes Burrow. Yep. The Bengals QB is out for the remainder of the season with a torn wrist ligament. Now, this occurs when the ligament fibers are torn from the physical stress resulting in pain. Now, the most common ligaments in the wrist to be affected are the distal radial ulnar ligament and individual radial carpal ligament. See it a lot of times, many times in my line of work. Very painful. Photos surfaced of Burrow's wrist in a brace arriving at Baltimore, leading spectators to ask, why was he not on the injured list? NFL has since opened an investigation. Bettors were also angered, asking sports books for a void for early injuries. Now, I'll stop for a second. I understand the frustration, and it is valid. However, the issue isn't with the sports books because they don't have that information just like we don't. So, in other words, this still falls on the Bengals organization to answer to why was he seen in a wrist brace of sorts before the game that identifies that he had something of an injury, the reason why he's out for the season. So I get it, family, but unfortunately, you decide to put your money up, you decide to place the bet, and whatever happens, happens. It's not on DraftKings or FanDuel or BetMGM. Unfortunately, the Bengals got to answer to that. Without T. Higgins, and now Burrow, will the Bengals be on the outside looking in, or can they make a run for a playoff spot? So we'll keep an eye on that. Limited in practice, Saquon Barkley will still be questionable against the Commanders this Sunday. The 568 rushing yard running back is still working on his ankle injury. Ravens QB Lamar Jackson's favorite go-to tight end, Mark Andrews, is out with an ankle and will also miss the rest of the season. Now, interesting enough, Harbaugh has sent film into the NFL as the hit to Andrews is allegedly a dirty hit. Now, some analysts may say it's dirty, some may say it's not. Some ex players will tell you that's how they're taught to tackle. Some people are right along in the middle. Bottom line, per per NFL rules, it's a legal hit, but it has been sent up by Harbaugh for investigation. So we shall see what the review brings down from New York. Now, other notable injuries, you have Devon Achane is out with a knee. Garrett Wilson is out with an elbow. Antonio Gibson is out with a toe injury. Zay Jones is out with the right knee. And Do It All Go There is out with a forearm fracture. In the post NBA action is up next. Hold on. It's time for sounding off with Tiff. And if I had an alarm bell, I would ring it as loud as I could to the NBA league office so that they can hear me say, I am not paying big time money, or whatever amount of money to come to an NBA game to see referees. 60-73. The Bucks and the Pistons. Well, Giannis drove the lane and slammed a highlight-worthy dunk over Pistons center Isaiah Stewart. Celebrated with a flex and gave the too small gesture with his hand as he turned around. It was a 2-second celebration, and the refs couldn't wait to blow the whistle. It was Giannis's second tech in the game, which resulted in an automatic ejection per NBA rules. Now, that shocked me, and I'm sure if you are an NBA head fan like I am, it really burned your grits. No, it really pissed you off. The league has gone soft. You can't have any fun anymore. The refs are ruining the game. Or some people may say ref had a parlay on the game. Can't fool me. This is a no fun league. When I watched the NBA growing up, Shaq dunked and sat on top of your head. He broke the backboard, dismantled rims. Kobe dunked and stared you in the face so you could think about what he just did. I can't even go back further, but I'll stop there. The NBA's stance on taunting: if you hit a tough shot or you cook a player, then you let him know about it. It increases competition and makes the game more entertaining. It always has been. The NBA are treating the players like babies instead of grown men. It might as well be pickup basketball. Despite Giannis getting tossed out, Milwaukee was able to rally late to defeat the Pistons 120-118, with fellow Bucks star leading the way, scoring 24 points in victory. Let them play ball. You have already changed the rules for flopping. Okay, some stuff I get. But when it comes to taunting, I can't hit a three. I can't post you up. I can't dunk on you. I can't have any fun with this. I'm just going to shoot. This might as well be basketball tryouts in practice where we're learning fundamentals of the sport. YMCA basketball. Who knows what's going on? But what we do know are the refs are making it unbearable to enjoy the game. And I, for one, am a fan who will have no hesitation on calling the league office, sending an email, a tweet, or whatever you have to let them know you're going to see your ratings drop. You are going to see a decline in the interest of National Basketball Association if the players can't simply come to play. Draymond Green is not without controversy. Suspended, Green will now sit out for 5 games after choking out and all but dragging Rudy Gobert. Now, Draymond responded via X by saying, 12 years in, and y'all want me to stop being Draymond? Don't get a tech, blah, blah, blah. Y'all still trying to coach me on how to be me. Steve Kerr, when asked, said he agreed with the 5 games. My Lord, it was almost a melee with no points on the board and barely tip off. We all know Draymond Green is a hothead and he has done some very dirty, questionable things in his 12 years. Well, what do I think? I think he should sit down for 5 games. But I also do believe that he was sticking up for his teammate. And being an ex athlete myself, you tend to have that fire in you when you see someone messing with their teammate. Unfortunately, do I think that he needed to be choked out? Some people say Gobert threw a punch. I didn't see that part of the film, and I watched it many times, but we all saw Draymond drag him at least 7 to 8 feet across that floor. And if you looked at Steve Kerr's face when it happened, he was looking as if he's going to do something real bad. Please stop. So he's not going to miss any games that are going to matter. And if he can get his act together and stay in it and not be suspended for the rest of the season, like some people are politicking to Adam Silver, he's dangerous. He's a hothead. Get him out of here for the rest of the season. Then he'll come back and Draymond hopefully will be just fine. Clippers snag their first win with Harden 106-100 over the Rockets. Since his November 6th debut, Clippers have registered an offensive rating of 108.2, which ranks 27th among all NBA teams. In the same time frame, they rank 25th for defensive rating at 118.5. Clippers have a number of tests in front against Western Conference opponents, so time will tell how this squad will pan out. In season tournament, hate it or love it, is here. No, I particularly don't love the lavish hardwood floors. Matter of fact, I don't love it at all. But I decided not to be the bad girl and give this tournament a chance. Now, to combat the maintenance protocol that has ruined most of the NBA season, you insert a tournament when in actuality you could shorten the season to 70 games, but that's not going to happen due to revenue cuts, and no one will absorb that with a smile. The fans seem to love the games, and the road to Vegas is my only buy-in. Why? Well, to see if the coaches have a playoff mentality. That's it. I want to see if this is going to be worthwhile on the road to Vegas. Right now, I believe the Lakers are standing out in front with the most wins in the tournament. And you know the tournament game when you see those magical floors. Otherwise, I'm giving it a sour stomach's go with a big shot of Pepto-Bismol. Bet Masters up next. Join me on DraftKings. Go to Dr. T23.site. That is DRT23.site. Go ahead and click join me on DraftKings and get your $200 bonus bet when you bet $5 instantly on DraftKings Sportsbook money lines, totals, and same game parlays. DraftKings has the action.
It's a bet. Time for Bet Masters.
We are going to jump into my picks for this week and discuss the game of the week. But first up, I have my NFL parlay of the week. I'm going to take Miami to cover that 12.5-point spread. I'm going to take the dog, the Titans, at plus 7.0 on the spread, and the Cowboys to cover that 10.5-point spread. Put $20 on that. Get you back 133. Now, my NFL player prop this week is going to be a QB. I'm going to take Murray with over 238.5 passing yards. Put 20 on that. Get you back $39. And I'm going to take Dobbs, and I'm going to take the over at 229.5 passing yards. Throw 20 on that. Get you back $41. Now, My NBA parlay is simply going to be a money line, and I'm going to take the Timberwolves, Heat, Spurs, Bucks, Thunder, and Knicks on Saturday. Put $10 on that, get you back 208. And finally, the game of the week. We're going to see a Super Bowl redo, y'all. Yes, the Chiefs and the Eagles. I am going to take the Eagles on a straight money line, parlay that into a two-leg parlay. Kelsey or anytime touchdown score, throw $10 on that, get you back $40. And remember, only bet what you're willing to lose. That's going to wrap up this week's episode. For a win is a win. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that bell for your notifications.